Clara Simmons moved through her home with the precision of someone who had lived her life in the rhythm of chores. The wooden floors of her Maplewood house shone under the morning light, the hearth fire crackled with steady warmth, and the scent of fresh bread rose from the oven. Every corner gleamed. Every dish sparkled. And yet, Clara felt invisible. Thomas, her husband, was gone again to the blacksmith shop. His approval was never spoken, only assumed. Daily, she cooked not one, but 2 or 3 dishes to please him, delicate pies, roasted meats, steaming soups, meticulously prepared in hopes that he would notice her efforts. He never did. Her children were preoccupied with their own worlds, lessons, playdates, and adventures beyond her care. Even the smallest praise was rare. In this perfect, orderly house, Clara's life had become a silent routine, her joys buried beneath layers of laundry, dishes, and polish. Her crochet basket sat forgotten in the corner. Threads coiled like sleeping dreams. Years ago, it had been a sanctuary. Now, it was a relic of herself she had left behind, tucked beneath the weight of a life lived entirely for others. It happened suddenly. One ordinary morning, as Clara leaned over the stove, a wave of dizziness hit her. The room spun violently, and she collapsed onto the floor. Lucy, her youngest, screamed for help. Thomas arrived, flustered, but his panic was fleeting. He seemed more concerned about the disruption to his routine than the fragility of the woman before him. The town doctor arrived swiftly. Severe exhaustion and a high fever, he said, brought on by years of relentless labor with no rest. Days stretched into a blur as Clara lay confined to her bed, her body weak, her spirit aching. The house remained spotless around her. Floors gleamed, laundry was folded, meals were untouched, but the quietness now felt like a cage. No one noticed her absence in the larger rhythm of life, everyone continued with their own concerns. Even Thomas barely lingered, caught up in his blacksmith shop, unaware that the woman who had kept his home immaculate for decades was fading away. The realization hit her with crushing clarity. She had spent years tending to a life that didn't tend to her in return. Every scrubbed surface, every folded shirt, every meticulously prepared meal had gone unnoticed. The labor of decades had been invisible. As Clara lay feverish, a wave of regret washed over her. 2 or 3 daily dinners crafted to impress her husband. Endless laundry folded and refolded, hours spent polishing floors until they gleamed. Friends long forgotten. Children growing up under her watch, but unaware of the woman who had held their world together. She remembered her own small joys, crochet projects finished in stolen hours, laughter with friends before life became all-consuming, walks in the morning sunlight that she no longer permitted herself. How many sunsets had she missed? How many moments had passed, gone forever, while she labored for perfection that no one acknowledged? Tears coursed down her cheeks. She whispered to herself, barely audible over the quiet of her immaculate home, "I've wasted so much. I've forgotten myself." Yet in the grief, there was a spark, a tiny ember of recognition. She remembered the joy of creation, the meditative rhythm of crochet hooks, the quiet satisfaction of seeing something take shape at her hands. It was a lifeline, a reminder that beneath the exhaustion, beneath the invisibility, she still existed. When strength returned, Clara reached for her crochet basket. The threads felt familiar, almost like old friends. Fingers that had long been busy with scrubbing and cooking remembered the rhythm of creation. With each stitch, warmth spread through her chest. She began carving small moments for herself. Afternoons spent working on delicate lace, evenings turning colorful yarn into scarves, shawls, and doilies. Slowly, the monotony of chores faded. She realized that a life spent in service of others had its value, but life itself demanded something more. The town outside her windows seemed larger than she remembered. She noticed the chatter of neighbors walking along dirt roads, the bustle of the market, the laughter spilling from church socials. Life was happening, and for the first time in years, she felt capable of stepping into it. Clara didn't abandon her responsibilities, her house still needed care, her children still required guidance, but she approached them differently. She taught the children to help, to share in the labor of daily life, and she accepted that a home did not have to be perfect to be full of love. Thomas remained practical and distant, but she no longer sought his validation. She was learning to measure her worth by her own happiness, not by recognition she rarely received. Her crochet creations began to attract attention. Neighbors admired the intricate designs, and soon, requests for pieces followed. A small business blossomed, born of talent long buried under the weight of expectation. But the reward was more than money, it was the joy of reclaiming herself, of contributing to the world in a way that was entirely her own. Clara's life expanded beyond the confines of her kitchen and laundry room. She visited friends she had ignored, took walks in the morning sunlight, and attended village fairs where artisans displayed their crafts. The community that had once seemed distant now became a source of warmth, connection, and laughter. She realized the stark truth she had learned too late for years: life is not measured by a spotless house, perfectly folded laundry, or meals that impress others. Life is measured by moments lived fully, joy shared freely, and dreams pursued relentlessly. By spring, Clara's crochet business had flourished. Her designs were known across Maplewood, her creations carrying her passion and newfound confidence into homes far beyond her own. She no longer sought Thomas's emotional presence to define her worth. Happiness now lived in her hands, her heart, her choices. Evenings found her by the window, crochet basket on her lap, children playing nearby, neighbors stopping by for tea, and sunlight spilling across the walls. The house was not perfect, it never would be, but it was alive, full of laughter, creativity, and love. Clara smiled at the sunset and whispered to herself, her voice steady and sure. "I chose me. And this is how life should feel."